Doing very good. We talked with Beck Locke from the National Kidney Foundation.
And welcome back to the UW-Milwaukee Panther Arena, home of the Milwaukee Wave, for tonight's Major Arena Soccer League contest between the Milwaukee Wave and the Kansas City Comets. Once again, Tom Wynn, along with the Wave Hall of Famer Art Kramer, here with you. And we welcome everyone on this New Year's Eve, or at least it certainly is in North America, here in the city of Milwaukee, Milwaukee County, the state of Wisconsin, the United States of America, the North American continent, the planet Earth, the solar system, the International Space Station, or worlds beyond. Welcome one and all to what should be an exciting game between the Milwaukee Wave and their longtime rivals, the Kansas City Comets. This is one of 3 games taking place in the Major Arena Soccer League today. One final already in St. Louis. The Florida Tropics rolling into the Family Arena in St. Charles to defeat the Ambush by the final of 8-5. And meanwhile, 3 minutes to go in Cedar Rapids, and they got a tight one there with the Baltimore Blast leading the Rapids, leading the Rampage by the score of 3-2. And that one looks like it's definitely going down the wire, right?
Well, Cedar Rapids 5-0 this year at home, and that's really what has propelled them to the number 2 spot in the Central Division.
Their new coach, Ante Chope, making his debut behind the bench today. Of course, we're familiar with Andre. He was a member of the Wave organization briefly, former goalkeeper, most notable for his work with the old Rockford Rampage. But he is now the man behind the bench.
And Baltimore on the 6th attacker. And remember the goal Ante Chope scored on the 6th attacker as well? That unbelievable 3-point strike from well outside the yellow line.
That was during the old multi-point scoring days when he was playing for the Chicago Storm, I believe it was, or Chicago Riots. Chicago Riots down at the fabulous Odeum in the Chicago metro area. Remember playing at the Odeum, Arts?
I do remember playing in the Odeum.
I'll tell you, they don't make places like that anymore.
No, it was a facility where you got in there, you got the win, and you got out of town quickly. Don't rub salt in any wounds down there. Don't trash talk. Get the win. Say adios, hola, be nice, be friendly, which is what we encourage everybody to do today on New Year's Eve. Be nice, be friendly. I resolve to do that in the new year, Tom.
Absolutely. I think that's a great resolution. You get a look at some of the crowd gathered here today as they will watch the action on the black turf of the UW-Milwaukee Panther Arena, home of the Milwaukee Wave, where the Wave is 4-0 so far this year, 9-0 overall, one of 3 remaining undefeated teams in the MASL, along with El Flash de Monterrey and, of course, the San Diego Sockers. Comets wearing white, going right to left. Wave on the attack. Ian Bennett hammers a shot. Kick save made by Casey Gasson, or Gasson, I guess is technically the way he pronounces that.
If you're in France, it's Gasson, but we're here in the United States, Tom. It's Gasson.
Casey, a rookie goalkeeper, broke in professionally with the Colorado Blizzard. Long ball ahead, and little bump there, but no foul called. Rich Grady, Ryan Sigage, 2 of the best officials in the Major Arena Soccer League working today's game.
Good ball that time by Gasson forward. I think it was Lucas Rodriguez who came in alone, just didn't have the pace to work all the way in.
Milwaukee with the possession. They go left to right as you look at the action here in the first quarter. Crowd is still gathering here. This will be the season's largest on the annual New Year's Eve Day game, which has become a tradition in Milwaukee. This is the 25th New Year's Eve Day game in Wave history. 25th out of Milwaukee's 34 seasons. Wave is 16-8, and they are coming off a victory over their former arch rivals, the Chicago Mustangs, defeating the Mustangs 9-4 1 year ago.
The Wave here at the UWM Panther Arena, and across the street at the Bradley Center, the Harlem Globetrotters with their annual New Year's Eve get-together.
Trotters, as usual, playing the doubleheader at 1 and 7, Wave game in between. So, in theory, you could easily catch one of each if you wanted to. And I know there's some fans who make it a regular thing to attend both the Wave game and one of the Trotters games every year.
And the Wave hoping to make Kansas City be their Washington Generals here on the soccer field.
Wave 3-0 against the Comets this year. This is the 4th and final regular season meeting between the clubs. Comets at 2-7, 0-3 on the road, and they are coming off a tough 5-3 loss to the Baltimore Blast last night in Independence.
Although I got to ask you, Tom, you would know this. Didn't the Generals beat the Globetrotters one time? Wasn't there one victory for the Generals?
At least one for the Generals.
Yeah.
I believe they broke a several thousand game losing streak against them one time in the 60s, and might have racked up another victory somewhere along the way. Of course, the man who would probably know is the longtime member of the Wave organization. He used to be the athletic trainer for the Trotters back in the 70s, Larry Sales. So maybe we'll have to ask Larry. He might have some good stats on that for us. Marcio Leite working midfield. Marcio had 4 goals to spark the Wave in their 11-9 win over the Comets. You get a look at Marcio, got called for the foul there. One of the Wave's elder statesmen at 33 years of age in his 11th season with Milwaukee. Although remember, he missed 2 full seasons due to a knee injury, but has come back in very fine form. Andre Hain knocking down somebody at midfield.
Lucas Rodriguez.
And Lucas is down. I don't even believe there was a foul called. Might have just been an accidental whack. But again, if you get hit by Andre, he's a big guy and he can deliver some blows. Although again, I'm sure this was pretty unintentional. But
well, you saw Andre standing over the top of Lucas, seeing if he's okay. Might have been an inadvertent elbow or hand to the face of Lucas Rodriguez. Let's see if we can see it on the Wisconsin Vision Instant Replay. And there, it looked like the back of Rodriguez's head hit either off of Andre's hip or upper body.
Lucas was kind of losing his balance forward and, yeah, ran into the side of Andre. And again, he might have clipped him with the elbow there. Boy, Lucas, a fine player for the Comets. He's their usual 6th attacker as well. And so, you know, we talked about, Art, coming into this game, how the Comets.
Yep.
Oh,
it was Andre's right elbow that caught Rodriguez in the back of the head.
But Lucas Rodriguez would certainly be a key for the Comets if they have to employ the 6th attacker today, which has been far and away their best offense against the Wave this season.
6th attacker, power play. Lucas Rodriguez on the restarts, he's a big part of their special team situation. And really, Tom, if this team's going to turn it around, it's going to have to be Lucas Rodriguez, Brian Perez, Leo Gibson. The veteran players, O'Dane Sinclair, are going to have to start playing a little bit better for this team to turn it around.
No question about it. Rodriguez, the veteran from Mid-American Nazarene University in Kansas. There is Casey Gasson. And the rookie keeper plays it up ahead as Brian Perez works it near side. Perez has been with the Comets since their revival in the 2010-11 season. Native of Costa Rica, who played at UMKC, with the exception of 1/2 season with the Wave back in 13-14. Hain with it for Milwaukee, trying to play it up for the Neenah native Stuart Grable. Has it poked away. There's Perez with it right now for the Comets.
Kansas City played last night at home against Baltimore, Tom. They traveled this morning at 5 a.m. The bus left from Kansas City, arriving in Milwaukee around 1 p.m. And the start here was going to be telling. I'm very impressed with the way Kansas City has started this game, considering their travel schedule.
Wow, and a great chance there as Lemos somehow was able to get a piece of that follow-up shot. That was Kyle Williams, I believe, that was cruising in. Let's take a look again at our Wisconsin Vision Instant Replay. Shot by Williams there, and now watch him come right in for the rebound. Oh, and a great block as Guilherme Vega stuck a foot in there. Boy, that looked like a 99% opportunity there for Williams. So a great block by Guilherme, the veteran defender, to be able to deflect that one up in the stands. Wave is able to stop the ensuing corner kick. Max Ferdinand working his magic, coming out of the zone, and he draws the foul from Perez.
I mentioned the Comets travel schedule, Tom. 5 a.m., wake up, arrive at 1 p.m. Milwaukee time. Remember those days, Tom?
Oh.
You and I don't travel anymore on the road. We had a few of those, didn't we?
Oh, we had a few.
Nothing like an 8-hour poker game on the bus.
Oh. That was the thing when we were supposed to be sleeping. Somehow it seemed like we didn't really concentrate on that too much at times.
No, with Tim Tima, John Dolinsky, you, me, there wasn't going to be any sleep. The 8-hour poker game, and then when we'd stop for intermission, it was the bingo game right after the intermission, right? Sell the bingo cards.
I remember Dean Kelly complaining one time that he couldn't sleep, but nobody else was playing cards, and he said he had nothing else for entertainment if we didn't start playing. Oh yeah, days on the road. Takeaway here. Robert Renault, R squared, looks across as he tries to get it to I plush, Ian Bennett. Remember the Rymax trio, 3 of the top 5 scorers in the league. That's Robert Renault, Ian Bennett, and Max Ferdinand. Ian is actually tied for 2nd in the league scoring race, with Renault 4th and Max 5th. Frank Teo of Soles de Sonora, still the leading point getter. He's got a total of 29 on the season.
The guy I forgot to mention, Tom, by the way, Saeed Bakhtiari. Remember, Saeed was part of those games as well.
Oh, yeah.
I still can't figure out how he always had the 2 of spades on those wild card games. He always had the 2 of spades.
I think that was a permanent part of his repertoire. He had the extra 2 of spades, and it always matched up no matter what deck we played with.
Now, you and I weren't playing with a full deck. We're still not. That was the reason why we never won those card games.
Wave with it, going left to right. Jonathan Santos, the veteran defender from Brazil. By the way, the league's leading shot blocker with 21 starting today's action. Now Ricardo Cabrera, also known as Ricardinho, one of 3 Ricardinos, I believe, currently playing in the MASL. Here's Ian Bennett. We'll touch it back. Ian, 27 points to lead the Wave, 21 goals, 6 assists. Marcio Leite cranks one up, and Gasson makes the save.
Pierande Braithwaite, the Comet forward. You got to know the tendencies of Marcio Leite. Loves to go to his right. And that time, Braithwaite allowed him to come inside and get a nice strike on Gasson.
Good job by Vega to cut off Kyle Williams as he was moving it. Now Grable moves it out to Leite. Well done by the Wave to play it out of the back. Vega looking up ahead for Bennett. Ian trying to get to the middle as Cody Hoffman had cut him off, and now foul from behind as Leo Gibson commits the foul. That's his first in the half. Remember, in the MASL, you get 3 personals in each half. On your 4th, your team gives up a 2-minute power play.
Good work that time by number 14, Leo Gibson, to track himself goal side of Leite.
Gibson, by the way, number 6 in the league scoring race with 20 points to lead the Comets. Grable will play it across Leite, trying to work past Gibson. Touch off for Ricardinho, but can't do anything with it at that stage. Midway through the first period, still scoreless. Wave comes into today's game, as I mentioned, with a record of 9-0, 4-0 at home, and a plus 32 goal differential at 77-45. Kansas City at 2-7, 0-3 on the road. They're only a minus 17 goal differential. Offense has not been the problem. They've scored 62 goals, but they've given up 79, which is one of the highest totals in the league defensively. And as you've alluded to, Art, they've had some struggles with the goalkeepers, both rookies, Casey Gasson and the man who played last night, Stephen Hammerski. And it takes a while as a goalkeeper to get accustomed to the indoor game.
Takes a while for anyone to get accustomed in this league, field player or goalkeeper. Normally takes about a year, but veteran presence is extremely important in the MASL.
Josh Lemos, the goalkeeper for the Wave. Josh continues to be among the league leaders in several categories, leads the league in wins with 9. He is 4th as far as goals against average, as Hans Dennison just slides one wide to the far post. And Josh also 8th in save percentage at .667. That will bring us to our first media timeout. 6:11 left to go first period, still no score.
Kansas City Comets 0, Norway Soccer. After we check in with Rory Michaels. Rory,
Wave would like to thank Miter USA for providing today's match balls. Miter, founded in Huddersfield, England, is among the world's oldest sporting goods brands, starting production in 1817. Miter is a proud partner of the Major Arena Soccer League, providing arena-specific match balls to both the MASL and MASL2. The MASL and Miter share a long-term vision to see arena soccer grow in North America. Miter's Astro Division is the official game ball for MISL League play. Miter's Astro Division is designed specifically for play on artificial surfaces. It features a more accurate flight than the average ball and has a 30% reduced bounce to make it play more efficient in soccer. And we'd also like to mention that you're watching the Wave and the Comets on MASL TV. Catch every game each week on the league's official streaming home, MASL.TV. And remember, you can also get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams. Make sure you're following MASL Soccer on Facebook, Instagram, and MASL Arena on Twitter. Some of the fans enjoying the New Year's Eve Day festivities here at the arena. A lot of fans getting their night started here, as has become the tradition here, Art. 25th New Year's Eve Day game. Any memories that jump out at you as far as New Year's Eve Day with the Wave?
None on the field. Plenty after the games. You know, Tom, I lived downtown when I was playing for the Wave. And these games weren't 5:05 starting times. They were 1:05 starting times. So 3 o'clock till Victor's at midnight, that jumps out at me.
There was plenty of time for MASL, MPSL, MISL post-game New Year's Eve festivities back in those days. Ferdinand trying to touch one down the middle for Bennett, broken up. Nice defensive play there by the Comets. Well, Kansas City's done a good job so far to keep the Wave off the scoreboard. Again, KC, quick turnaround, as Art mentioned, from their game yesterday against Baltimore. A tough 5-3 loss to the Blast in Independence. And jumping on the bus early today to get up here for this one. Good restart chance coming here for Milwaukee. Well, looked like they're going to put it down top of the arc. Now they'll move it out to the sideline.
Thought it was a good call. Looked more like a block shot that went up over the top of the glass.
Andre Braithwaite, the one-man wall in front of Leite, as his shot is driven in wide. Bennett battling down in the corner with Nacho Flores for the Comets. Comets trying to nudge it forward. They do. Ferdinand has a leg in there for Milwaukee. Attempted clearance to flex off of Max. Now midfield Renault with a nice job to check off the defender. That's number 24, Mirko Sandovari. Sandovari making his debut, I believe, here, Art, for the Comets today. Drew Ruggles with it. Drew nursing a slight knee injury. He was a game-time decision, but he's out there ready to go. There was some talk that Chan Vandegrift might get his first selection of the year if Drew was not able to go, but you see Ruggles out there on the pitch. And so Vandegrift will have to wait at least one more game before he makes his 2017-18 debut. There is a good attempt there by Bennett, ringing off the frame.
Bennett snuck around the backside of Lucas Rodriguez and just missed to the near side.
Ferdinand out high, trying to push it past the defender. Centering on the play, shot on goal! And Bennett with number 22 this season. The Wave leads it 1-0.
Bennett that time unmarked in the center of the box. It was Ferdinand with a beautifully weighted pass, and I believe it was Nacho Flores who got sucked over towards Ferdinand and allowed Bennett to be wide open in the box. Let's watch again here. You see the Comet defender, number 23, that's Flores, stepped over to try to help on Ferdinand and left Bennett all alone in front.
10:27 in the first period, time of the goal. Ian was held to just one marker in the last meeting against Kansas City. That was a huge goal, by the way, against the sixth attacker, Lucas Rodriguez. That was at a point in the game in which the Comets were on a roll with the sixth attacker, and Bennett's goal at least momentarily quelled the momentum and turned out to be the final goal the Wave scored in that 11-9 victory.
You saw number 24, Sandovan, backing up towards his own goal line instead of stepping out towards Bennett. See that a lot this year, Tom. Defenders getting behind their goalkeeper in an effort to block shots instead of stepping out to get closer to the shooter.
Max Ferdinand, by the way, picked up his 16th assist on the goal by Bennett at 10:27.
I initially said it was Flores, but it was actually Sandoval with the mistake on that goal.
All right, free kick put in by Gibson. He'll get it back. Try and maneuver for the shot, drives it in, blocked by Leite, and the follow-up is up into the stands. I think it was Brian Perez with the follow there that got under it too much, put it up in the stands. So Ian Bennett with his 28th point, 22 goals, 6 assists. Now just 1 point behind the league leader Frank Te'o in the MASL scoring race. And Max Ferdinand with the assist. Max is 16th, he is second in the league, only behind Harrisburg's Thiago Freitas, who has 17.
The best way to shut down top goal scorers is not to allow them to get off early. And not a good sign for Kansas City that Bennett scores here in the first quarter.
Boy, how many times have we seen the IMAX tandem jump out with 2-3 goals combined to get the game rolling? That is just a huge weapon for the Wave to have.
Some goals you just tip your cap to the offensive team and say, you know, really nothing you can do about it. But most goals, there's going to be a defensive breakdown. And that time it was Sandoval backing up instead of stepping out to Bennett and closing off the shot.
So Sandoval, as we said, making his MASL debut for the Comets today.
Okay, check that, Sandoval. Got it. It's my eyes, Tom. I'm looking at the score sheet. That RI is looking at as an N.
We've been through a lot more New Year's Eves than Sandoval probably has so far, so it's understandable.
Apologize to the Comet listeners.
3:08 left to go. Wave leading 1-0.
To get my eyes checked as well. Get some new glasses. Got a whole list up here.
Well, you got all next year to do it, starting next week. Wave, by the way, will go to Cedar Rapids on Friday for their next game and then be right back here to face the Rampage on Saturday. By the way, final score today from Cedar Rapids, the Blast hung on to win it 3-2. So big win for Baltimore, big back-to-back wins for the Blast as they go to KC to beat the Comets last night 5-3 and then roll into Cedar Rapids today to defeat the Rampage 3-2.
Always say it about the Blast, Tom. It's all the same, only the names have changed. A credit to Danny Kelly and David Bascombe, Kevin Healy. That group, doesn't matter who they put out there in a Blast uniform, they seem to get the job done year in and year out.
Lemos, good job to push it forward, but now he's way out of the net. Comets trying to reload, chip from midfield, just wide. And as Lemos tried to gather in the rebound, it was knocked up into the stands.
Nacho Flores had him beaten, but just a little bit too high with that left foot.
And you see Anthony Grant there saying that ball deflected off of Lemos. Take a look on our Wisconsin Vision Instant Replay. Not that that is reviewable. Up to Renault as he is getting undressed at midfield by Ivanovic. Now they move it off the near side. Grable with a shot. And Gasson able to cover up the short side to knock it away. Stuart Grable bidding for his second goal of the year. The 3-year pro out of Neenah, Wisconsin, former star with the UWGB Phoenix. Dennison heads it back to Ruggles at midfield. Drew will play it back now for Lemos. Launches forward. Ivanovic had it deflect off him as Tenzin Rampa with a bit of a collision. Tenzin, the Wave team captain, gets back up and knocks it into the stands.
Dangerous challenge there. You could see it coming with Rampa and Ivanovic.
Wave gets it back as Renault at midfield. Little touch to the near side. Ruggles with it, trying to come back for Renault. Broken up, but Drew gets his back. Ruggles lays it off the near side. Renault! Oh, he tried to slide across from Bennett, but a great clearance that time by Gasson.
And what a look that time by Ruggles to find Renault.
You talk about kick saving a beauty on a crossing pass. That was it right there.
But Renault had the whole near side. Should have elected to finish that one. as
Well,
Ruggles put him on
I can
a platter.
guarantee it, if it was the other way around and Bennett had the ball, he is definitely taking a shot in that situation. But nonetheless, Wave still with a chance here after the foul and the restart. Andre Hain, the third-year pro out of Lindenwood University in St. Charles, Missouri, gets ready to approach the ball, and now timeout called. So Coach Giuliano Oliviero going to call timeout right here, talk things over. Wave can change up if they want to get a different group on for the restart.
A little surprising, the restart's not in an ideal spot. It's right about the yellow line off center. Normally not a position you'd take a timeout, but Jules is 9-0, so who am I to question any decision that he makes right now? He's got this team, him and Marcelo Fontan have got this team playing at an extremely high level. It's really been neat to see the progression and evolution of this coaching staff. Nick Vorberg not back with the team this year, but certainly Giuliano has been, it's been impressive progression to say the least.
And certainly starting with the middle of last year, about mid-season last year, after Wave started 5-5, they went 8-2 down the stretch and really became a prime contender for the MASL championship. Defeated Kansas City in the first round and just barely lost to the Blast in the next round. Of course, Baltimore eventually went on to beat Soles do Sonora in a one-game winner-take-all championship.
One of the neat aspects about my job as the director of coaching at Elmbrook United is our offices are located inside the Brookfield Indoor Soccer Complex, Tom, and that's where the Wave trains on a daily basis. So I can roll into the office, watch the Wave train on a daily basis, and to see Giuliano and how he's really developed as a coach has been quite the sight.
All right, Leite plays it in on the free kick as they work it to the corner. Ferdinand plays off the board in front. Good attempt by Renault, but could not quite redirect into the cage as Bennett gets it back. By the way, stick around, fans. The second quarter, we've got former Wave star Sean Tosh is in the house today. We're going to see if we can try and get Sean up for a chat here for a couple of minutes.
Well, you can't miss Sean Toach today. He's wearing a bright purple blazer.
He's ready for New Year's Eve.
Yes, he is.
Renault, nice move to get into the box. And his shot is deflected away. I think Perez might have got a piece of that. Wave will kick it in from the far board.
It's actually number 18, Cody Hoffman, who came sliding across with a nice block that time.
Good play by Hoffman. He is a blockbuster defender in the back for the Comets.
No pun intended, huh? I like that. Blockbuster defender.
Cody does not look like he's missing too many meals down there in Kansas City. But I would not want to run into him on the field, that's for sure.
Kansas City barbecue.
I think he's getting his share of ribs down there for sure. Ferdinand against the aforementioned Hoffman. Max trying to shake and bake. Hoffman stays right with him. Ball in is cleared away, and Wave will kick it in. Wave trying to campaign for a top-of-the-arc restart, but referees say that was not intentionally cleared into the stands. And now quick restart, and Rodriguez actually jumped the restart, but Wave is able to avoid disaster as they will play it back for Lemos. That'll do it for the first period. So at the end of one, the goal by Ian Bennett from Max Ferdinand at 10:27 is the only tally of the first period. It's Milwaukee 1, Kansas City nothing. We'll take a break and come back with the second quarter. This is Wave Soccer. Some of the crowd gathered here at the UW Milwaukee Panther Arena in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Wave leads at 1-0 over the Kansas City Comets. MASL action here on New Year's Eve day. Tom went along with the Wave Hall of Famer Art Kramer bringing you the action. Wave in the black uniforms going right to left on the black turf of the UWMP Arena. So 1-0 Wave, the only goal in the first quarter, scored by Ian Bennett from Max Ferdinand at 10:27, as the league's second leading scorer got his 22nd goal of the year. Foul going to be called right there on Sandavari. There you get a look at him there. And he's still mad that Art Kramer was mispronouncing his name in the first quarter, but he'll get over it. Anyway, Art, thoughts on the first quarter?
Excuse me, Tom. I thought Kansas City came out, good first 5 minutes, and then from that point was really defending for the most part. Good job blocking shots in front of Gasson, but eventually they're going to need to come out and score some goals here. One goal in the run of play last night, then they had 2 6-attacker goals. So right now, this team's struggling on the offensive end.
Andre Hain trying to see if he could convert the pass from over the top on Lemos. Gasson comes up with it. I see that Sean Toch has made his way up here. Art, we're going to try and get him on here for a couple minutes. He's chatting with the Franklin boys right now, so we don't want to interrupt them there too much.
Told you about his suit, though, Tom, huh?
Oh, magnificent. As you take a look at Andre Hain's attempt there, good attempt by Andre.
Wondered, is the guy a Vikings fan? That is purple there.
That's about as good a purple as you're going to find in a sport coat.
Give Case Keenum a call, see if he wants to wear that suit after the game sometime.
Yeah, especially if they go to the Super Bowl. Comets on the attack, going left to right. They have not been overly threatening here offensively in the first half, but that could change in a hurry. They still got some guys who can fill up the net when you talk about Gibson and Perez and Rodriguez. I'll tell you, that guy Anthony Grant, number 22, rookie this year, I was pretty impressed with him, Art, the last time these teams played. And I don't know if Grant played last night, but he's back in the lineup today, and he's a kid who looks like he's got some potential.
Kyle Williams is another guy they're going to need to start scoring some goals as well.
Kyle, another guy, outstanding speed and quickness and some pretty good skill to go with it. Here comes Leite. Marcel trying to come 3-on-3. Ricardinho lays it back, and ball was mishit by Santos. But Renault will play it back for Drew Ruggles.
Good run that time forward by Marcio, but then he bounced the pass to Ricardinho.
Braithwaite had it for a moment. Ball's cleared out. Ruggles will take it. And now pass almost picked off by Kyle Williams. Tenzin Rampa, the 10-year veteran, native of Madison, who played his college ball at UW Milwaukee.
Kansas City's forwards thus far have shown a nice commitment to defend in their defensive half of the field.
Yeah, they have been a little loose defensively at times this year. Oh, nice crack there by Ruggles, just a bit high. And again, when you have young and inexperienced goalkeepers, you really need the rest of the team to step up defensively.
What I like about what Kansas City has done today is they've kept Casey Gasson back in his goal area. You haven't seen him come forward into the attack at all.
Ball touched across, now coming in, and a pass off the wall deflected out by Ruggles. Sandavari reloads. Gibson, he can score from anywhere. Oh, and the pass to the far post, just missing, as Comets looked like they were going to have the tying marker there.
Grant just a step late at the far post on that shot by Leo Gibson.
Ruggles gets called for the foul there, marking Gibson. Quick restart by KC. One thing about the Comets, they are always looking for the quick restart. You have to be very wary about that defensively. Leite double teamed as he tries to maneuver near the near bench. Now pass back taken away by Gibson. Good defensive play again by Ruggles to step up. Drew has been very active so far today.
talked about Kansas City's restarts, Tom. Not having Vahid Asadpour, John Sosa, Ramon Palmer really has hurt them in that area this year.
Ian Bennett finishing off the assist from Ferdinand, and it's 2-0 Wave. That was a beautiful goal.
The key to this goal is Bennett strikes it first time, which doesn't allow Gasson to get his hands up. Watch again on the Wisconsin Vision instant replay. You look at it from behind Gasson. Look at the shot first time. Doesn't allow Gasson to react. He's got those hands down. And one more time.
Great dish by Max. 2 goals for Bennett today. 23 on the year, which is second most in the league. And by the way, he now ties Frank Teau of Soles, Sonora, for the top spot in the league scoring race with 29 points. 2 assists for Max Ferdinand. And Max now ties Thiago Freitas from Harrisburg as the league's leading playmaker with 17. Max now with 25 points overall. Remember, he came into the league number 5 in the league scoring race. Wave with 3 of the top 5 in the MASL scoring derby with Bennett, Renault, and Ferdinand. Togba coming in, and he meets the shoulder of Jonathan Santos. Welcome to the MASL, James Togba.
You want to be a prolific goal scorer indoors, you can start by understanding the details of what it takes to score. And Ian Bennett understanding the importance of striking a ball first time and not allowing a goalkeeper to set his feet and get his hands up. And right there, that paid off for Ian Bennett.
A pure superstar. Ian Bennett, 246 goals now in his 8+ seasons with the Wave. And keep in mind, this is most of the time they've only been playing a 20 to 24 game regular season schedule. We went back to the old days, Art, where we're playing 40 games a year.
48 at times, right?
Yeah. Ian might really be racking up some notable he could be threatening Michael King, whose 502 goals is the all-time record for Milwaukee.
48 games, Tom. That was a lot of poker hours that we played.
Man.
Still trying to figure out that 2 of spades, though.
Oh, great look there as Ferdinand has Leite coming in. Kansas City defense gets back. Marcio drives it to the corner. Angel Curiel, better known as Chino, will track it down. Chino, the native of Mexico in his first season with the Wave. Max doing some impressive dribbling over there, and he's dumped on the play eventually. I think it's Leo Gibson going to get called for foul. Both he and Perez were there.
The technical speed of play of Max Ferdinand allows him to get out of a lot of tight situations, whether it's man-marked or double-teamed. You saw right there the ability to escape a double team and draw a foul.
He can be a magician at times. The 9-year veteran who played his first 6 in Baltimore, now last 3 with the Wave. Chino looking on the far wing. Vega tried to play it off the end board as Bennett was cruising down the middle, couldn't make the connection. Back comes Grant, turning on the Jets. Nice hustle back by Leite as he got it to Lemos. Up ahead for Bennett, just a bit too far, pressuring Gasson. And Casey Gasson with a good job to distribute with Ian Bennett right in his grill. One thing about Gasson, he has avoided any major mistakes so far. Looking much calmer on the ball, Art, than when we saw him earlier in the season. Santos will clear that one downfield. Jonathan again, the league's leading shot blocker with 21. Santos returning to the Wave after spending time with Cedar Rapids and a couple other teams in the interim since the 12-13 season. Here's Santos right here, 3-on-3 as he lays it off for Ricardinho. Sends it across, but the Comets will clear this one. Gibson working against Renault and able to knock it back. Here comes Cody Hoffman. Moving upfield. Gets it back. Now, my mistake. That was Ivanovic. A ball sent through and it scores. Trombini may get credit for it. I don't know if he touched it, though.
That ball off the wall just fooled the Wave goalkeeper, Lemos.
Side of the goal at 7:47. So it's a jumbo jet goal for the Comets. And again, we'll have to see what the official scoring is. So it's 2-1. See if we can double check on that scoring there. Okay. They are double checking right now. The preliminary report, Art, is that Sandavari, who sent that one in off the boards, is going to end up with credit for the goal. So he would have scored a goal in his MASL debut, which is...
Didn't look like it touched anyone. You ready to get Tosher in here?
Let's bring him in.
Let's do it.
So now that we have a chance, I'd like to bring in former Wave star and certainly a man I'm sure who has the Wave close to his heart. The native from Oswego, Illinois, and former star for the NIU Huskies, Sean Toth. Sean, welcome back. Great to see you again. Happy New Year's Eve.
Yeah, Happy New Year's. It's great to be here. I'm glad to be back and see this great game, and it's always a fun.
By the way, Art and I were commenting on your awesome sport coat that you've got on there that I don't know if we can get a shot on the cameras of it, but it's stunning purple.
Yeah, you know, after a quality season, you know, it was a good way to cap it off, you know, with a little bit of style.
Well, you're styling, no question about it. Wave now leading the Comets 2-1 after Kansas City's goal just before the timeout. We'll try and give you the scoring update, but I believe it's going to go to Sandavari. Sean Toth join us here. Sean played for the Wave a couple of seasons before joining Louisville FC this past season. And tell us about playing for Louisville, Sean. How did you enjoy your action in the USL?
You know, it was a great experience. It's my third season in the league, and you know, it was my first year for Louisville City, and you know, it was a pretty cool experience being you know, a part of such a great organization, and you know, the fan support there was, you know, it was a special place and it was a special season.
Louisville Slugger Field, certainly notable in baseball circles. What did you think about it as far as playing soccer?
You know, it is less than ideal, you know, playing on some of the turf in the infield. You know, as far as atmosphere goes, you know, there was not a better place for me in the whole league. So, you know, especially, you know, coming down to those last couple games in the playoffs, we had nearly 16,000 people at the final. So, you know, it's a special environment there.
No doubt, professional soccer has a great future going forward in Louisville, especially if they can build the soccer-dedicated stadium that they're talking about. What can you tell me about Luke Spencer?
You know, great guy. You know, that's one thing we always, you know, try to get in our players and on our team are great guys. So, you know, first of all, he's a really good guy. But, you know, great player, and always, you know, always doing the work for other players, and, you know, getting after it on the field. He's really someone who, you know, relentless. And I imagine, you know, in training it was tough to play against him, but I can't imagine, you know, in some of those games what, you know, would go through some defenders' heads having to deal with him.
I know he was your leading goal scorer this past year, and again, rated as one of the top American prospects in the league, along with yourself. And so that certainly had to be a good guy to have aboard on your team. What would you say, Sean? Who have been some of the other guys in the USL that you've played against who have stood out in your mind?
Well, you know, I have like a guy who's an MASL player. You know, Canardo Forbes, really good player. We played together in Rochester for 2 years, and you know, he's on Syracuse Silver Knights. So you know, he's always a really good player who you know, tricky out there, and he's hard to read. He's very deceptive.
Oh, he's been a tough guy for the Wave to handle, certainly in the MASL. So
it always seems like he gets his points against us.
Yeah, he sure does. So, how's the off-season been going? Are you back in Illinois? You back in Oswego? What's the update?
I've just been, I took the year off from, playing indoor so that I could, see more family and, take the time to, give my body a rest. So I've been traveling around, seeing friends, seeing family, and, was out in Rhode Island for Christmas. Visited Nashville, going to Jamaica next week. I'm all over the place.
Nice timing on that Jamaica trip this time of year.
Oh, yeah, it's getting cold here. It came out of nowhere all of a sudden, getting the negatives here.
So could you ever imagine as a lad growing up in Oswego that, you would go on to play for a team like the NIU Huskies and then become a professional player after that?
I always wanted to play professional, and I couldn't imagine really doing anything else. But it's been special to be able to play for the teams that I've been able to play for. Definitely lucky when it comes to that.
Well, it's been, I'm sure, like a lot of aspiring professional players, I'm sure it's been a great and impressive journey. And it's always fun that a lot of times, the fans they'll get a chance to see on the field, but they really don't know the backstory as much. And I always find it fascinating, to see what the trials and the tribulations of a player making his way up through the ranks. And to me, I think that's always the fascinating part of it.
Yeah, and it's definitely a struggle. And, a lot of the players here and, players that have, played it all around the country and that we've, been teammates of mine know what it's like to try to get those contracts and try to earn your spot in the team. And it's, it's definitely a struggle, and it's a lifestyle to be grinding every day, trying to, be the best soccer player you can be.
Well, it certainly takes a commitment, no question about it. And again, I always think it's great whenever somebody is able to work their way to the top of the profession, whatever it might be. So again, Sean, we certainly wish you good luck, and we certainly enjoyed the time we had you here in Milwaukee. And of course, you never know how things turn out. Maybe we'll see you back someday if we're really lucky. But it certainly has been a pleasure to have you up visiting with us for a few minutes, and hope that this upcoming 2018 turns out to be a great year for you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, I never know, when I'm going to be back out in this field here. I definitely, just being here, there's some nostalgia that's, from the last 2 years, but it's fun to just be around the guys, and, all the guys here are, top-notch guys, so it's fun to, be with them. I went and trained with the team, so it's definitely miss it. So I'm hoping that, I'll be back out there, one of these days playing with these guys.
Well, it would be awesome to have you back out there. Sean Tosh, our guest here. And Sean, again, great seeing you, buddy. Happy New Year, and we'll look forward to seeing you again sometime in the future.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Meanwhile, Wave still leading it 2-1 as neither team has been able to score since the Kansas City goal midway through this period. Wave has had a couple of chances inside. Casey Gasson, the goalkeeper for Kansas City, has stood up pretty well, but quality chances either way, I guess, have been few and far between here in the last few minutes. Art Kramer puts back on the headset and rejoins us here. This, at least for now, Art, looks like goals are going to be kind of hard to come by here in this contest. We'll see what the second half brings.
Been impressed with what Kansas City's been able to do considering their travel schedule. And just in the last 2 minutes, a couple real nice saves by Josh Lemos in the Wave goal to keep it at 2-1.
Saw the header by Guilherme Vega just going wide. Comets on the attack. They're wearing white today. Nice play there by Renault to take it away from Braithwaite. Renault pushing up, trying to go 3-on-2. Nice sliding pass near wing. Now Ruggles moves it across, and the pass for Vega just far.
Vega stopped his run that time as Ruggles was trying to lead him into the finish.
Boy, I'll tell you, what a effort by Renault to start that play. And hopefully Robert is okay after he had a bit of a collision there. Dennison with a shot, save Gasson.
Gasson's best save of the day right there.
Dennison hit that one right on. Now a long bomb there sent the other way by the Comets. as Rodriguez trying to see if he could beat the retreating Lemos back to the net. Ferdinand with 10 seconds. Max, who's got both assists on the 2 goals by Ian Bennett. Clock ticking down, and Wave is not going to have another chance. That'll do it for the first half. A low-scoring first half, believe me, way below the projected over-under for this one, as Milwaukee will take a 2-1 lead in the locker room at halftime.
Tremendous collective defensive effort by the Kansas City Comets. All 5 players in front of Gas Sun defending. That includes their forwards. Big improvement defensively for Kim Runtved and their crew.
We will stand by as public address announcer Van McNeil is getting ready to talk to head coach Julian Oliviero.
Comets have had a great half. They've made it very difficult for us. We've created chances. Unfortunately, we haven't finished all of our chances, and it's a 1-goal game. So, you know what? We got to create a little more urgency at times. We got to make sure we keep our shape defensively and create that urgency in the attack is, I think, going to help us score some goals in the second half.
You know, I know Kansas City is coming off Baltimore. We thought they were going to have some tired legs. That doesn't seem to be the case here.
You know what? I thought we could have played a little bit smarter. You know, our decision-making on the ball, our touch on the ball, not as sharp as it could be. But, again, the game's 4 quarters long. We got 2 more quarters to go here. So.
All right, head coach Julian Oliviero, get back to the locker room. He's going to go talk to the guys. We'll bring you even more Wave soccer. So far, so good, Wave fans. Are we having a good time? Yes, we are. We'll be right back. More Wave soccer right after this.
Experience Wisco Hotels, a broad selection of quality hotels throughout the state of Wisconsin for the value-minded traveler. Whether you're looking for a hotel in Milwaukee, Madison, Fond du Lac, Appleton, or Oshkosh, Wisco Hotels has you covered with great service, comfort, convenience, outstanding hotel rates, special hotel promotions, and so much more. To book your room or to get more information, visit wiscohotels.com. Wisco Hotel Group, proud partners of your Milwaukee Wave. The Milwaukee Wave presents the State Farm Save of the Game. In the Wave's home opener against Cedar Rapids, goalkeeper Josh Lemos showed no signs of a sophomore slump as he came up big time after Rampage goalie Brett Petrusek came out of the box and attacked to no avail. Lemos had a save percentage of .462 on the night, along with 13 shots against and 7 goals against, and of course he's pumped up. The State Farm Save of the Game, brought to you by State Farm, here to help life go right. In New Berlin, contact Matt Teresi at 262-427-2227.
You could be my love, even if the sky is falling down. I know it will be safe and sound.
So many Americans struggle with finances. Starting today, State Farm is here to help, giving us all the chance to simply sit down and learn. Visit letstarttoday.com or talk to an agent.
We're safe and sound.
Go where the pros go for chiropractic care, massage therapy, and exercise rehabilitation. Goodyear Chiropractic Health Center, the official chiropractor and massage therapist for the Milwaukee Wave.
Rappa clears it off the line. Oh. Rappa clears it off the line.
Attacker, so put myself in the right spot, and I've been working on saving balls off the line, so it paid off. Oh, there he goes, the ice.
all your construction needs.
Arena has experience in some of the biggest events in the country, and we're able to bring that same expertise to local events. We do a lot of corporate anniversaries, company parties. Most of them never plan events like this, so they're looking for our experience to plan these events with them.
Well, every August, we have our customer appreciation party where we close down the restaurant. Customers are able to sample beer, wine, enjoy live music, desserts, the whole 9 yards.
Arena can provide a turnkey service from tents, tables and chairs, linens.
Everybody has a wonderful time, and it's something different out of the ordinary that we're able to do for our customers and for our vendors. They're able to just sit back and relax.
People want more than just a cover for weather. They were able to transform parking lots into amazing event venues.
Arena Rental is very easy to work with. I would recommend them to anybody.
For just a moment, think about your life without electricity. No lights, no refrigerator, no computers. It's hard to imagine, isn't it? American Transmission Company helps to keep the lights on. ATC's electric transmission lines deliver electricity from where it's generated to where it's needed. We help provide people in Wisconsin with economical, reliable power for their everyday life. American Transmission Company, helping to keep the lights on, businesses running, and communities strong.
right, we are just about ready to start the third quarter here from Milwaukee. You are looking at the black turf of the UW-Milwaukee Panther Arena, home of the Milwaukee Wave, taking on the Kansas City Comets in a Major Arena Soccer League New Year's Eve Day special, the 25th New Year's Eve Day game in Wave history. Wave looking to go 17-8 if they can hang on to this lead against the Comets. But Art Kramer, this one doesn't look like it's going to come easy for the Wave today. Not the way Kansas City's playing.
No, Kansas City, to their credit, Coach Kim Runtvedt has got these guys defending 5 behind the ball. And a great defensive effort in the first half by Kansas City.
Wave came in at 9-0, one of the 3 remaining undefeated teams in the MASL, along with Monterey and San Diego. Takeaway there is Chino is able to take one away from Lucas Rodriguez, now plays it up ahead to Ian Bennett. Ian's got both the goals for the Wave. Kansas City looking for a handball. They're not going to get the call. Meanwhile, Bennett got hammered down after that. Foul against Kansas City. Lucas Rodriguez helps up Bennett.
Restart in a really good spot here for the Wave, just outside the penalty area to the right of Casey Gasson.
Here's our Wisconsin Vision instant replay as you see Rodriguez checking Bennett into James Togba. So they double team him into a foul there.
The Wave without any lefties on the field right now. Ideal spot for the lefties to come in and hit it.
There you get a look at
first time pass.
Ferdinand, they'll lay it back. Drive is high by Chino. Left-footed strike, but as you said, Art, he's not a natural lefty. Not a bad strike, though. Here's Jonathan Santos. Santos looking around. Lays it off far side for his defensive mate, Stuart Grable. Ferdinand, Bennett, and Chino, the forward line. Grable with a shot. And that's blocked away, I think, by Kyle Williams. Rebound comes out high. Wave works it back. Grable. Here's Stewart trying to get it in for Bennett, but well marked that time. As Comets are able to take it away and start a field. Ferdinand stepped in to play it away momentarily, but the Comets get it back. Nacho Flores doing some good work there defensively for KC. I tell you, Nacho, another guy, Art, when you see him up close and personal, he is a lot bigger than he normally looks when you're checking him out on MASL TV. At least to me, anyway. They got some bulk on this team.
Number 23, Nacho Flores, defender for Kansas City. Struggled with consistency a little bit this year, Tom. We've seen him play some really good games and then make some silly mistakes, but that time, as you mentioned, 1v1 defensively. A good job to hold off Ian Bennett at the top of the box and dispossess the Wave leading scorer.
Hoffman starts it up the other way for the Comets. There's Anthony Grant. Loses it to Santos. Good work there by Jonathan. Over to Ricardinho quickly now for Marcio. Marcio Leite. 4 goals the last time these teams met 9 days ago in the Wave's 11-9 victory. Wave has also defeated the Comets 7-4 in KC and 11-7 here in Milwaukee, a game in which the Wave jumped out to a 9-0 lead before the Comets came roaring back. Marcio out high, trying to work against the defender, Trombini. Fires a shot in just wide. Rebound, follow, bouncing shot in the middle, headed away by the Comets.
Good save by Gasson on the first shot, and then Cody Hoffman with a block on the follow-up. Wave's got to be careful that they don't take the foot off the gas pedal here. They did that earlier this year against St. Louis, and they were fortunate to win in overtime.
Now Leite drives one in, it's cleared out. Don't forget, Wave will be home this upcoming Saturday, January 6th, to take on their Central Division rival, the Cedar Rapids Rampage. Backdoor near side, Bennett, but he just misses wide as Ian was trying to just sneak one inside the near post.
Ian would love to have that one back. He had a sitter at the far post. Difficult because it's coming across the body, but it's one that Ian normally converts 7 to 8 out of 10 times.
Bennett with both the goals for the Wave today, and Mirko Sandaveri has credit for the Kansas City goal with the assist from Ivanovic at 7:47 of the second period. That was after the Wave had jumped out to a 2-0 lead. Anyway, based on the previous scores between these teams in their 3 earlier games this year, you would have thought we'd see a little more offensive fireworks today, but that has not been the case.
I had a big piece of paper last night, Tom. It had the letters SSN. What's SSN stand for?
Social Security number.
That's what you would think, but I got it as second syllable N for Ivanovich.
Okay.
That N is with the second syllable. Not Ivanovich, it's Ivanovich.
Ivanovich.
SSN, as we can call him.
I like that. That's a good handle for him. Ricardinho tried to play it through, broken up.
Now the question is, does he have a Social Security number?
Now Vega takes it away, rolls it off far side. Oh, he had Ricardinho, but couldn't make the connection on the pass. Boy, I'll tell you, a great idea there by Guilherme, but just could not make the connection on the pass. Well, our buddy Nick Santos, voice of the Comets, he and Brian Bazinski, the outstanding broadcast team for the Comets, could probably give us some insight into the pronunciation of these Comets names. By the way, the Greek was out on the field last night. Art, did you happen to see him halftime there in the celebrity game?
I did, and unfortunately for the Greek, his team lost 2-0, and he did not make one of my 3 stars for that game. As Brian Bazinski had called prior to the game that there was a guy named Hector to keep your eye on out, and Brian was spot on. Hector with 2 goals. Not Hector Marinero, but the Kansas City Hector in their media game.
Well, it wasn't for lack of effort by Nick Vassos. I'll tell you, he put his heart and soul into it.
He just didn't have enough to shut down the aforementioned Hector.
I thought they should have had Nick playing a little more forward. He spending too much time at midfield. Ferdinand, Dennison, Bennett with a shot, turned away without committing a handball. Was that Nacho Flores back there?
Hard to tell, but very unselfish play that time by Hans Dennison. I thought he was going to finish. Laid it back to Bennett, the Wave appealing for a handball in behind Gasson.
Maybe we can get a look on that later on. Not that it's going to make a difference. Here is Ruggles playing it in, and Gasson there to cover up. Well, the Wave has gone out of its way to set up Ian Bennett tonight. Ian's got a couple of goals, and he's had some other great chances. But the Kansas City defense has been there to deny him most of the time. Timeout on the field, 8:56 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. And the Wave still leading it 2-1.
We've talked about Kansas City's difficulties in the goal this year, Tom. And tonight, Casey Gasson playing a really nice game. And part of it is the fact that they're not asking Casey to do things that make it a little more difficult to play in the net. And specifically, just keeping him back on his goal line to stop. Simplifying the role has really helped Casey Gasson here tonight.
Good point, and Gasson again making any costly mistakes so far. Probably had at least one major gaffe in each of the first 3 times the Wave played him, but tonight he has been flawless back there.
I've seen almost every game Kansas City's played this year, and in every game Casey Gasson has played, he's come over the half line with the ball at least one time, and that's at a minimum. Tonight, we haven't seen Casey Gasson anywhere near the midline, and once again, that has simplified his role, and look at the result. He's been a lot more effective in the net.
So the Wave will be in Cedar Rapids this upcoming Friday, January 5th, for a 7 o'clock game against the Rampage. You can watch that one on MASL TV. And then right back here for a rematch with the Rampage the following night, Saturday, January 6th, 6:05 p.m. Central Standard Time. Wave and the Rampage join Wave Hall of Famer Art Kramer and yours truly, Tom Wynn, for that telecast. And I'm telling you, Art, back-to-back against Cedar Rapids, that is going to be a very intense couple of games.
Former Wave owner Jim Lindenberg there on the kiss cam just before that couple.
Great to see Jim.
Just recently married. Congratulations to Jim and his wife.
Proprietor of Master Z's. Couple locations in the Milwaukee area.
Yeah, real nice location there in Waukesha. It's an impressive store.
All right, 3-line violation. Wave is going to get a free kick from the line. Marcio Leite to trigger. Over to Renault. Leite. And Marcio will work it around. Shot by Grable is off the mark. Renault gets it. Comets have done a good job to shut down Robert Renault today. The league's 4th leading scorer has not been able to get on the board yet today. Chino. And he gets dispossessed by Nacho Flores. Plays it in the middle. Keel Williams trying to come upfield. I keep wanting to say Keel. It's actually Kyle, but it's spelt like Keel. There's a drive out front. Brian Perez cracking the shot there, and a good save made by Lemos.
The Comets doing an excellent job defensively. I hold my thought.
Takeaway there, and Ivanovic coming in with a shot that's turned away. Boy, giveaway by the Wave. Renault got dispossessed, and the Comets almost made him pay. Ricardinho coming up to midfield. He is not only fouled on the play, but he draws a penalty.
First penalty of the day. Sandovari ill-advised at this point of the game.
He's going to go to the box at 7:18 of the 3rd period. So the Wave goes on the first power play of the night for either team. Let's check it out one more time on the Wisconsin Instant Vision replay. Well, it's a pretty obvious grab, and I guess the officials felt that the Wave had a man advantage at least going forward.
Unfortunately for Sandovari, he's not wearing a Wisconsin Badger jersey and playing in the secondary, because if he would have gotten away with that, as we saw last night in the Orange Bowl a couple times.
They did get away with a couple, there's no doubt about that.
Well, the one led to a big interception for the Badgers at a critical point of the game.
Sandovari in the box for holding at 7:18 the 3rd. Wave on the power play as Ferdinand looks to center, comes out high. Ricardinho with it. Ricardinho cracks a shot, save. Gasson, rebound, follow. Another save in front. And Bennett redirects up into the stands, and Casey Gasson, the man in the moment for Kansas City.
Spectacular work that time by Gasson, flying around the net, a la former Comets goalkeeper Danny Waltman. Brilliant that time by the Kansas City netminder. Look at that first save, then up quickly to come back, corral the loose ball, and then at the back post, there to deny Bennett a clear scoring opportunity.
Milwaukee again with the man advantage. Ball driven in by Ricardinho, covered up by Gasson. Wave on the year is 11 for 20 on the power play, 55%. Comets haven't exactly been a great penalty killing team as they call timeout. They've only stopped 10 of 19 for 53%. Kansas City does have 2 shorthand goals, however, so you have to be a bit wary if you're the Wave that you don't give up a shorthand goal to them.
And I like the timeout here by Kim Rundvedt. Important power play to only stay 1 down. Team is working extremely hard in their own zone. Got possession of the ball. You're a minute 5 into it. There's a big 55 seconds for Kansas City to kill off this penalty.
Wave had 3 great chances in a row. Gasson with 2 saves, and Ian Bennett, who appears to be, even though he scored 2 goals today, Art, perhaps a bit snake bit. He could easily have a couple others, and I'm sure he would love to have that last one back.
Well, it's interesting. Ian seems to be a little more proficient to the goalie's right-hand side. We've seen him over to the goalie's left a number of times. Hasn't had the same percentage success from an execution standpoint. So Ian may want to move around over to his office to the goalie's right. You know, Tom, I've been somewhat critical of Casey Gasson this year. We've seen this team a number of times, and he's had his struggles, and I've pointed it out. But today, Casey Gasson has been sensational in the net for Kansas City.
As you alluded to, one of his predecessors, Danny Waltman, who played for the Comets several years ago, and he would make Waltman proud with the game he's put together so far today.
And when you're 2-7, you want to take small steps forward, and it starts in your goal. And so this is a real positive for Kansas City.
Remember, the top 2 teams in each division will qualify for the playoffs, so there is a real sense of urgency for the Comets if they're going to get back in this Central Division playoff race. Cedar Rapids lost today. They are 6-5 as Ian Bennett, wheeling in, fires one up into the stands. But
well, you think about it, Tom, a Wave win here would put them at 10-0. Kansas City would fall to 2-8. So that would put the Wave's magic number at just 3. Only 10 games into the season, your magic number is 3. Any combination of a Kansas City loss or Milwaukee wins equaling 3, and the Wave is in the playoffs.
That would be pretty impressive.
Yes.
A magic number of 3, and you're not technically even at halfway to the season. It's a 22-game regular season. This is game number 10.
Okay, you're right, 22 games. So my magic number may be off a little bit. I was going on a 20-game season. I'll have to rework those numbers.
But it would be pretty impressive as Ferdinand tried to find Ian at the far post. He can't get it. Santos reloading on the play. Waves still with 7 seconds to go, man advantage. Leite cracks one wide right. Rebound, Santos got it back to Leite. Comets now back at full strength as Ferdinand sets up Bennett, shot off the mark, rebound, follow, score! Robert Renaud, and the Wave leads it 3-1.
Not a power play goal, just after the penalty had expired. And Robert Renaud, the man that you said the Comets have done a good job of shutting down so far, finding the rebound and putting it back, Gasson. Take another look on the Wisconsin Vision instant replay. And you see Renaud just behind, and that ball goes in between the Comet defenders. Gasson screened on the shot. Look at Renaud after the layoff, kind of ghosts in behind Rodriguez, and Lucas not able to turn in time to block the shot from Robert Renaud.
15th of the year for Robert Renaud. Ian Bennett with the assist. Ian gets his 7th helper. Huge goal for the Wave just after the power play expired. And with Sandovari scrambling to get back in the play, in reality, it was a power play effected goal for the Milwaukee Wave.
And you go back to the penalty, and just such a silly penalty to take to grab the jersey behind the play in the middle third of the field. Not a good penalty to take.
3-1 Wave. Again, Milwaukee coming into today's game, averaging almost 9 goals per contest. So they still got a ways to get to their average. Turning shot, Andre Hayne just wide.
If you're Kansas City, you got to be careful here this last 5 minutes. You can almost sense that there's an impending explosion about to happen here.
Comets could really use the next goal to hang in this one. Even if Milwaukee scores again, certainly there's plenty of time for KC to come back. But as you said, Art, the psychology of it could be huge.
And once again, a team that had 1 goal against Baltimore during the run of play and just 1 here today. This is a team that's really, really trying to find its way on the offensive side of the ball.
Andre Hayne with a nice move there. Andre starts it up. Over to Max. Waits for the flow to come through, and we've got a penalty coming. Andre Hayne is going to go for obstruction. They're going to say Andre was blocking the defender downfield, and you can see his reaction is not very impressed with the call. I don't know if I've ever seen that before, Art.
Good thing Rich Grady doesn't speak Spanish.
Or Portuguese. So Milwaukee goes from having a 4-2 bust out to now being shorthanded for the next 2 minutes at 10:39 of the third period.
There's another look at...
Well, they made a great move to get away from Perez initially. Now, we didn't see the tail end of it, but what they're saying is that Hain, after passing the ball, led an obstruction by running off the defender down the middle. To the near side, Ivanovic fanned an attempt to volley that one in. Short-handed, Ian Bennett coming downfield. Gasson has to knock it away. He was almost out of the box, and now the foul's going to be called on Bennett. Boy, Gasson was very close to being outside the penalty area when he handled that ball.
Once again, there's just no reason for him to be that high on this power play.
Gibson cracks one wide right. Rebound on the far wing. Sent back out, and eventually Gasson will get it. Comets on the year. 25% on the power play. They are 4 for 16. Wave, as far as penalty killing, they've been pretty good at 82%. They've stopped 18 of 22. Milwaukee does not have any shorthand goals. The Comets have allowed 1 shorthander this year. Still got 45 seconds man advantage for KC, looking to cut the deficit to 1. Gibson fires a shot in, nice save by Lemos. And Santos will clear downfield. Nice save there by Josh Lemos. Comets reloading. They still have 30 seconds to go with the man advantage. Perez, Rodriguez, back to Perez, Gibson, Williams, and I think it's Nacho Flores out there for KC. Rodriguez with a shot, blocked by Santos, the league's leading shot blocker. Now Gibson turns, sends one in, and cleared out by Grable, but unfortunately, he put it out at midfield without touching turf glass or boards. It will be a top-of-the-arc restart.
If I'm Kim Runfed, Tom, I'm taking a timeout here. This is a critical restart.
They will go with it. Rodriguez circles around and blasts it up into the stands. Well, he must have felt he had the guys out there to run the play he wanted. Rodriguez, who's usually a pretty accurate shooter, but way off target on that one.
Well, once again, man down situation. There's only going to be 2 in the wall, so not a bad decision by Lucas to shoot, but just not good execution. Didn't hit the target. Well up over the top.
Big penalty kill for the Wave. Now Lemos slides it up to Bennett as he works it across for Marcio. Just over 2 minutes in the third. Nice pass ahead. Renault! Shot and goal! Boy, what a look by Leite at midfield to find R², and Milwaukee leads it 4-1.
You don't score on the power play and then you give one up at the other end. There's the explosion we were talking about. You could just sense things were about to unravel here for the Comets.
Robert Renault with back-to-back goals to make it 4-1. What a look by Marcio as he picks up the assist. Leite coming off a 5-point effort against the Comets the last time these teams met 9 days ago. And Marcio, the Wave's 4th leading scorer, has his 9th assist and 18th point of the year. Robert Renault now with 26 points. There you get a look at R², the native of Quebec.
You watched it. Sorry, Tom.
I was going to say, probably a big Canadians fan, but we won't hold that against him. Gasson, under pressure, has to clear it upfield. Nice move there by Trombini for KC. Looking across as Ivanovic has it. Going to the corner, Braithwaite. Out muscling Rampa. Tenzin giving up about double the size to Braithwaite. Boy, what a move. Andre Braithwaite. I'll tell you what. That's like one of the individual goals of the year. And he single-handedly not only antagonizes the Milwaukee crowd, but scores an amazing goal, 4-2.
Good show of strength that time by Andre Braithwaite. Braithwaite coming off a 2-year suspension with a nice turn that time. Great individual effort by the big man, number 16. Little toe poke over the top of Josh Lemos, but Braithwaite serving a 2-year suspension after the headbutt to Baltimore's Pat Healy following a Kansas City-Baltimore game.
Andre is back with a vengeance, it would appear. Boy, I'll tell you, Art, we don't see too many 1v2 or even 3 goals like that in tight space. That was pretty impressive.
Oh, Andre's a big, strong, physical player, still learning the target position, shown some good ability this year. And it's good to see the way he's come back after the 2 years off.
6th goal of the season for the former Newman University star, Newman University in Kansas. The same alma mater of KC's other goalkeeper, Stephen Hammerski, who played last night in the game in KC against Baltimore. There's Andre Hayne picking up the foul there. All right, so the Comets now really back in this thing as they score again, as that ball by Grant snuck across the line. And just like that, the Comets are back within one at 4-3.
And that's the second goal tonight for Kansas City, where we've seen Josh Lemos been fooled on the ball off the boards. That time he didn't seal off the boards at the near post, and it just trickled in behind and over the line. Watch again. Ball wraps around. Lemos doesn't seal off the boards. By sealing off the boards, I mean pinning your body up against the wall so that ball can't sneak through. And that time it snuck into the near post. One more time. There it is.
And you saw it, good effort by Chino to try to slide out and clear it away, but clearly all the ball was over the entire line. And so just like that, the Comets, after falling behind 4-1, they come back with 2 goals in a span of 38 seconds to get back within one. Don't go anywhere, fans. We're probably going under the wire here tonight in Milwaukee.
So much for that explosion I was talking about, huh, Tom? How quickly things can change in the indoor game.
Ricardinho, 20 seconds left to go, plays it off the board. Could not make the connection with Bennett. Grable, good job to get it. And Grable wiped out in the corner, fouls called.
Nacho Flores, fortunate that time that veteran referee Ryan Sigich doesn't pull out the card. One more time.
Look at this again. Great job by Grable to win it from Williams, and then watch this.
Well, it was a good tackle on the ball. The problem is that trail foot, if that trail foot gets any contact, then it's a 2-footed tackle, which is a blue card.
10 seconds ago, Marcio gonna see if he can create something here. He moves all the way, drives it in, and that's gonna do it. Hang on, fans, we go to the 4th. It's the Wave 4. Comets 3 coming back with the 4th quarter here on Wave Soccer.
Experience Wisco Hotels, a broad selection of quality hotels throughout the state of Wisconsin for the value-minded traveler. Whether you're looking for a hotel in Milwaukee, Madison, Fond du Lac, Appleton, or Oshkosh, Wisco Hotels has you covered with great service, comfort, convenience, outstanding hotel rates, special hotel promotions, and so much more. To book your room or to get more information, visit wiscohotels.com. Wisco Hotel Group, proud partners of your Milwaukee Wave.
Go where the pros go for chiropractic care, massage therapy, and exercise rehabilitation. Goodyear Chiropractic Health Center, the official chiropractor and massage therapist for the Milwaukee Wave.
For just a moment, think about your life without electricity. No lights, no refrigerator, no computers. It's hard to imagine, isn't it? American Transmission Company helps to keep the lights on. ATC's electric transmission lines deliver electricity from where it's generated to where it's needed. We help provide people in Wisconsin with economical, reliable power for their everyday life. American Transmission Company, helping to keep the lights on, businesses running, and communities strong.
Arena has experience in some of the biggest events in the country, and we're able to bring that same expertise to local events. We do a lot of corporate anniversaries, company parties. Most of them never plan events like this, so they're looking for our experience to plan these events with them.
Well, every August, we have our customer appreciation party where we close down the restaurant. Customers are able to sample beer, wine, enjoy live music, desserts, the whole 9 yards.
Arena can provide a turnkey service from tents, tables and chairs, linens.
Everybody has a wonderful time, and it's something different out of the ordinary that we're able to do for our customers and for our vendors. They're able to just sit back and relax.
People want more than just a cover for weather. They were able to transform parking lots into amazing event venues.
Arena Rental is very easy to work with. I would recommend them to anybody.
We go to the fourth here in Milwaukee, New Year's Eve day. The Comets, with a couple of goals late in the third, have cut the deficit to 1. 4-3 Milwaukee on Wave Soccer. Tom went along with the Wave Hall of Famer Art Kramer. Nothing ever comes easy for the Wave against the Comets.
Not usually, and not usually on New Year's Eve.
Well,
New Year's Eve evening, by the way, Tom. We're into the evening hours here.
This might be the latest. Well, with the exception of one game I can remember at the auditorium, believe it or not, this might be the latest we've ever played a Wave home game on New Year's Eve. Because typically, as you said, we start the game 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, maybe 3 o'clock at the latest. So we are truly into New Year's Eve, and this place is rocking. Great crowd today, and they've seen an excellent game, and now we'll see who's going to pull it out. The Wave at 9-0 coming in. The Comets 2-7. Little miscommunication as the Wave was changing. And the long attempt by Trombini turned away by Lemos. I don't believe it was on target, but Lemos wasn't taking any chances.
Wave fortunate they didn't get called for too many men on the field, because Grable, who had come off, he fell back onto the floor as the Wave defender was engaging in the play off the ball.
Ferdinand out high. Wave working it right to left there in the black uniforms as he takes a few shoves there from Cody Hoffman. Wave trying to make it a 4-game sweep over the Comets this season. Last year, Milwaukee beat the Comets 2 out of 3 during the regular campaign. And actually, Milwaukee has defeated Kansas City 5 straight regular season games. Chino dishes it off! Shot and a goal! Jonathan Santos. What a pass by Chino. Wave leads it 5-3.
Little individual flair that time by Chino, and Wave defender Jonathan Santos getting involved in the attack at the far post. Finishes it off, and the Wave answers Kansas City's 2-goal run. Take a look here from behind. Gasson with the left foot, first time finish, beats Gasson to the near post. Kansas City standing around in their own zone.
Santos with his second of the season, 6 points overall for Jonathan, including 4 assists. And for Angel Curiel, better known as Chino, his 4th assist and 5th point of the night. Big goal for Milwaukee because the Comets clearly had the momentum coming here to the 4th quarter.
You could see Kansas City, they had 5 guys back, very compact inside their own box, but when a player gets beat off the dribble, there needs to be some rotation, and that time Kansas City failed to rotate defensively.
Still a long way to go in this one. Crowd is pumped up here in Milwaukee. And I gotta believe the Wave itself is after scoring that goal. Great atmosphere for the game here today. Boy, I'll tell you, a nice crowd last night as well in Kansas City. Some great atmosphere there, although it turned out to be a disappointing night for the Comets on their home turf. But nice crowd there, 4,000 fans plus at the Silverstein Eye Centers Arena. And great crowd here today in Milwaukee, as I think we're looking in excess of 6,000 for today's contest.
we've always known once the Christmas holidays are done, you get right around New Year's and beyond, that's when the crowds in this league start picking up.
Quick restart for the Wave as they come back 3-2 after a quick kick in. Marcio in the middle was looking for Robert Renault, and he went down as he got a knee knocker. Hopefully Robert's going to be okay. Back the other way, Ruggles going to get called for a foul. There you get a look at Drew, the third-year pro out of Georgia Southern, native of Virginia. And I'll tell you, he's got a heck of a hairdresser. I don't know if Drew does his own hair, but who's ever doing his hair is doing a heck of a job there.
Ricky Williams.
I wonder if Drew even knows who Ricky Williams is. Shot, save, Lemos. And Hayne clears it out. Now Flores trying to get forward. Bouncing shot in, blocked by Hayne. Flores in his second season at a Park University in Kansas City, which has produced many Comets over the years. Hoffman will work it across. Gibson cracks a shot, save made, Lemos. Now, outlet, Chino trying to come in. He was looking for Hayne at the post. It's cleared out, and Wave will kick it in on the side.
So you and I like to do some friendly wagering, Tom.
Absolutely.
You don't think he knows who Ricky Williams is? Come on.
I don't know. If he's a football fan, he might. But
I think Drew Ruggles knows who Ricky Williams is.
But, you know, Ricky Williams now, he's been retired for a number of years. You know, a lot of these players, pretty young, if at all, they can remember Ricky Williams. But that's a good wager. I'll go for it. Our producer, wondering if he was a quarterback. Well, we can't give any clues, Ian, in case Drew Ruggles watches the replay of this game. But he was a prominent NFL player, and he did have outstanding hair. You know, with his helmet on, he actually looked kind of ridiculous at times. But with his helmet off, he had, boy, 50-50 raffle paying off some big money here today. I would love to be on the winning end of that ticket. 10:15 left to go. Wave holding the 2-point advantage. Bennett looking across, trying to get it for Ricardinho. Comets had it initially. Max sent it back in for Bennett, and his return pass bounces into the penalty area. Still a little too early, Art, to preview that Cedar Rapids Rampage series, but we will certainly talk about it coming down the stretch. Wave in Cedar Rapids Friday on the football striped turf of the Cedar Rapids facility, the U.S. Cellular Center in Cedar Rapids. That'll be a 7:05 game time. Bennett going baseline, no angle, and Ian almost stuck one in the far corner. And then right back here at the U.S. Cellular, former U.S. Cellular Arena, now UW Milwaukee Panther Arena here in Milwaukee. That's this upcoming Saturday, January 6th, 6:05 p.m. Get your tickets by calling the Wave office, 414-224-WAVE. You can also order online at MilwaukeeWave.com. MilwaukeeWave.com, your source for everything Wave, whether it be tickets, merchandise, summer camps. That's the place to go for whatever you want regarding the Wave. MilwaukeeWave.com. Braithwaite coming in with a long bomb. And as it bounced up, we're going to have a handball called against Drew Ruggles. Now that's at least his second foul in this half. That is his second. I was getting concerned that might be his third, and Wave would have to be really careful.
Not sure what Drew was upset about there. Clearly a handball that bounced up off the turf, hit Drew in the hand. Good officiating by Rich Grady on the far side.
Oh, blast by Braithwaite, and I think that caught Ricardinho in the forearm. Couldn't have felt too good.
You're always going to have fans that are going to complain about referees, Tom. I mean, it's just in every sport, right? But I disagree. I think Grady and Sigage have done a really nice job again here tonight, as they normally do.
Well, they're two of the premier officials in this league, no question. Ryan Sigage, the official in chief, and Rich Grady, of course, longtime veteran official. And these two guys have been two of the best for a long time. Collision there. They're going to get Max for the foul. Again, Cedar Rapids with a tough loss today, 3-2. Baltimore beating them in Ante Chope's debut as head coach for Rapids. Taking over for interim coach Chris Kokalis, who led Cedar Rapids to a 2-1 record. Here's a long chip downfield, just wide by Ruggles, as the goalkeeper Gasson was way up near midfield.
But getting back to the refereeing point, Tom, I mean, you and I watch sports religiously, not just soccer. We watch all the sports. Look at Christmas Day, NBA, all the controversy with the referees. You look at the NFL, week in and week out. What's going on every week? Referees. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's the NBA, the NFL, which are billion-dollar leagues, or the Major Arena Soccer League. You're going to have fans that are going to complain about referees.
No doubt about it. Media timeout. It is 5-3 Milwaukee. Speaking of referees, how about Giannis stepping out of bounds the other night? Was not called. And, you know, I have to say, upon further review, and this is the part that gets me hard about replay in all the sports. You know, it's fine if you want to have replay, but if you can't get the calls right, then what's the point of having it? But I will say, even in replay, it was maybe somewhat debatable whether he did or not. You know, if you call him out of bounds.
He clearly stepped out of bounds. But once again, this is a call that they couldn't go back to review because under the rule, there needed to be a whistle blown on the play for them to look at the replay, which there just needs to be some tweaks to what they can and cannot review. Who was it, Derek Stafford or Leon Wood? You know, some of the best referees in the NBA, and once again, it's difficult. And you're, like I said, you're going to have fans that are going to complain, but I think the two that have done this game tonight have done a really nice job.
Yeah, absolutely. Kansas City, by the way, will be back home for their next contest. The Comets will, I take that back, they're actually going to be in St. Louis for their next game, playing the Ambush. That's at Family Arena this Saturday at 7:05 p.m., Saturday, January 6th. And then Kansas City returns to host the Harrisburg Heat at the Silverstein Eye Centers Arena Saturday, January 13th at 7:05 p.m. Comets trying to avoid falling to 2-8. They are still very much in this thing, only trailing by 2 with 7.5 to go. Wave trying to go 10-0 and remain one of the MASL's 3 undefeated teams. Monterey is also 10-0, coming off back-to-back wins at Rio Grande Valley, spoiling the debut of Vuioso for the RGV Barracudas. He was looking a bit slow there, Art, in the second game of those back-to-backs, by the way.
Who was it?
Vuioso for the RGV Barracudas, former Mexican star. And of course, Monterey's former Mexican League star, Suazo, he couldn't make the trip, I believe, because of immigration restriction. But
delayed penalty here on Kansas City.
Yeah, after Grable got dumped back here. Boy, somebody really wiped out Grable. And it looks like Andre Braithwaite's going to go to the box, and the Wave will be on the power play. Third penalty of the contest, second against KC, and it comes at 8:20 of the fourth period. So, take a look on our Wisconsin Vision Instant Replay.
Take another look right here. Watch Braithwaite come in.
So, Braithwaite goes to the box. 2 minutes for elbowing.
I didn't see the elbow, Tom. I thought Grable did a good job of embellishing that contact.
Stewart's been around for a while. All right. Wave trying to see if they can convert on the power play. 0 for 1 officially, although they did get a goal immediately after the previous power play expired. Ferdinand, Leite, Renault, Ricardinho, and Bennett. Leite on the far side gets it through now. Ferdinand, top of the area. Renault lays it up. Bennett shot the goal! There's the hat trick for Ian, and the Wave leads it 6-3. His 8th power play goal of the season. He leads the MASL in that category.
Oh, Canada teaming up right there. Robert Renault to Ian Bennett. A beautiful look that time by Renault. Had a lot of space coming through the center of the field. Drew Ivanovic out. Casey Gasson left out to dry that time. Once again, Gasson getting a little bit too high in behind Ivanovic.
Wave now 12 for 22 on the power play this year. And KC surrenders their 10th power play goal in 21 times against. Lucas Rodriguez has donned the jersey. It's time for Kansas City to go 6th attacker. And
here we go. We talked about it before the game, about the success rate on the 6th attacker for teams this year in the league.
And particularly with the Comets against the Wave. Really, Wave had no answers for the Kansas City extra attacker the last time these teams played. Kansas City outscored them 5-1 in the 4th period, exclusively using the 6th attacker. And for, I believe it was 3.5 minutes, they were actually down to a 5th attacker and still performing effectively against the Wave. So let's see if Milwaukee can break through tonight. Renault in a foot race. But good play by Anthony Grant to get back and retain the possession. Now Gibson, top of the area, lays it off. Lemos with a good stop as he turned away Brian Perez that time.
Perez should have shot that first time. He allowed Lemos to set his feet and make the save at the far post.
Drive wide by Gibson, rebound follow, ends up in the stands. Nacho Flores, I believe that was in the foul.
The Comets pulled their goalie last night with a minute left in the 3rd quarter against Baltimore. They ended up outscoring the Blast 2-0 the remainder of the way.
I said Nacho Flores. That was actually Ivanovic who missed on the foul there. Kansas City, let's see, of their last 12 goals, I believe 8 of them have been scored with extra attackers. That's really been their primary offensive effectiveness. Ruggles will turn and serve it upfield. Tommy Markovic and the Franklin boys are out of here. I think they're pretty confident the Wave is going to hang on. Hopefully they're not leaving too early here. As we've said before, when the Franklin boys leaving is like Red Auerbach lighting up the victory cigar. Here's Marcio trying to come across, drives one just wide left. Rodriguez, the 6th attacker, was back. Hain flicks it over to Marcio. And now the Wave will back it up and try and use some time.
Is the Franklin boys leaving like Red Auerbach with the cigar, or is it Wayne Larrabee the dagger?
It's same category.
Okay.
Yeah. When the Franklin boys take off, you got to be pretty confident the Wave is going to hang on. 3-2 in the zone. Ruggles lays it off. Vega sends it across, and it's cleared out. Santos trying to head it away from Gibson, but eventually the Comets control as Grant knocks it back for Perez.
Although I think on New Year's Eve night, I think the reference to the Red Auerbach cigar is probably better.
Well, I think the Franklin boys want to make sure, like we talked about, this is the latest on New Year's Eve the Wave has ever played, so I think they want to make sure they get out in time to get the celebration going. Ferdinand at midfield, being marked by Grant. And Max.
It's a long drive to Franklin. Got to be, what, 20 minutes up I-94?
Oh.
94?
Yeah, at least, depending where you live. Playing ahead now, 3-1. If the Wave can try to get it back, but Comets break it up. Gibson heads it across. Comets trying to get one back. They almost do with the blast from the corner by Perez. Rodriguez, the extra attacker. Santos breaks it up. Santos and Bennett. And good hustle back by Ivanovic to break it up, and Santos commits the foul. Tell you, Ivanovic showing some pretty good speed there. Bennett, he'll crack the shot that's blocked before it got to Rodriguez, and now Lucas Rodriguez pounces on it.
You're never going to question Milan Ivanovic's heart.
Oh, that's for sure. Well, Santos probably doesn't have the wheels that he used to have, but that was still pretty impressive by Ivanovic to come back and take it away from him.
And speaking of wheels, Tom, that's really the one thing you notice with Kansas City this year is their lack of speed in transition from the defensive side of the ball to the attacking side of the ball.
Not like the days of the Palmers and Matingu. Shot in the goal as Gibson goes rooftop, and the league's 6th leading scorer draws the Comets back within 2. It's 6-4.
Don't go anywhere. Minute 43 still left.
Another 6th attacker goal for the Comets at 13-17 of the 4th period.
But you talked about the Palmers and Matingu, but you also add Max Talut to that, Vahid Asadpour, and really a guy who didn't have great speed but was essential in starting the counterattack, Johnny Sosa. I mean, you take those guys out of the lineup, and Vahid was exceptional in transition. He was unbelievable. Knew when to go, when to slow it down. He was their general. And they really are missing Vahid Asadpour this season.
Lemos splitting the defense somehow, gets it up to Andre Hain. Boy, I'll tell you, Josh Lemos just having to bowl his way through. Andre still keeping it alive. Comets thought he committed a handball. And the Wave again will cycle it back. Well, Milwaukee using up some time, but again, a little bit tense here. Here's Max coming in. Hain tried to get it back for Max. Good read by Rodriguez, and here he comes. Perez off the end board, and that's got to be a foul there against Kansas City.
And you see that transition right there is what you've seen from Kansas City from years past. Rodriguez with a great read, quickly down the field and into the Waves penalty area within 4 or 5 seconds. And that's how Kansas City had punished the Wave for years and years.
Wave takes a time with 55.8 to go. Milwaukee on the verge of winning their team record 10th straight game to start the season. Remember, they broke the record, the previous record of 8 in a row with the win over KC. Last time, there's head coach Giuliano Oliviero, just, I'm sure, wanting to make sure the boys have everything squared away here for the last minute. But now, Art, we can finally start talking a little more in depth about that Cedar Rapids series. Cedar Rapids, we saw them opening night. Wave won at 11-7, although they do have one on the board against the Rapids. As you see, Larry Sales getting recognized here, the original member of the Wave organization, longtime athletic trainer, now working in the front office.
And 36 years ago, in this building, he met his lovely wife.
And they're talking about when Larry was working for the Globetrotters, ended up meeting his wife, Kathy.
Next to Kathy is their daughter, Mary Sales. And Brian Sales, probably running around here doing some work.
Yep, Brian, usually on the bench for the Wave as their equipment manager. But there's no question about it, Art. I think Rapids is going to be ready, and that's going to be a tough 2-game series coming up. Friday night in Cedar Rapids, Saturday here in Milwaukee. Call the Wave office for tickets, 414-224-WAVE.
Yeah, Cedar Rapids last year played the Wave tough. They got Gordy Gerson, they got Taylor Bond, Tony Walls. They're going to come in.
Bobby Hurwitz, yep. Kanawi, Charlie Bales, Golden Guernsey. They have, you know, not only some decent skill and speed, but a level of antagonism on that team that can get under your skin, and that's going to be a good test for the Wave, no question about it. Again, under new coach Ante Chope, replacing the deposed Jonathan Greenfield, who had the team off to a pretty good start, but philosophical differences between he and Cedar Rapids management, including general manager Chris Kokalis, who then took over for a 2-game or 3-game interim stint before Chope.
I'd love to hear that story. Philosophical differences. Wait, wasn't Coach Greenfield 5-0 at home? What philosophy do you need? Excuse me. I just won 5 home games. And you've got some philosophical, sorry about that. It's not 1 in the morning yet here. Philosophical differences. I might be talking like that at 1 o'clock come New Year's morning.
So it'll be Ante Chope leading the rampage against the Wave. Oh, KC looked like they were going to have a good chance there with 20 seconds left. Good defensive effort by Santos and Leite to clear that out. Wave will end up with the season sweep of the Comets, and unless Kansas City really rallies this season, Art, be the first time in 7 years, after 7 consecutive years, that they will not have played the Comets in the postseason.
Well, if the Comets win their remaining 12 games, that would put them at 14 wins. The Wave with 10 wins now, their magic number would be 5 after tonight's game.
Wave gets a tiebreaker. It's a final here in Milwaukee as the Wave gets things going for their fans here on New Year's Eve with a 6-4 victory over the Comets.
So you're right. The Wave gets the tiebreaker, so their magic number would be 4.
So the Wave goes 10-0 for the first time ever. Of course, the all-time record is the Comets of 2014-15 going 20-0 in the regular season. So
Wave halfway there.
Halfway there, but we'll see if we can do the business against Cedar Rapids. Again, Friday night in Cedar Rapids, Saturday night here in Milwaukee. Call the Wave office, 414-224-WAVE, to get your tickets. It's going to be a barn burner Saturday night, I can assure you. By the way, Josh Limo's coming up with a couple of State Farm Insurance saves of the game tonight. And Josh, with an excellent effort, had to make some big saves at times here tonight. Comets didn't have a lot of pressure for the first 2.5 periods, but they cranked it up certainly in the latter portion of the game. And anytime you can hold Kansas City to just 4, you've done a pretty good job. So certainly kudos to Josh Lemos for his action tonight. Ian Bennett finishes with the hat trick and an assist for 4 points. Take a look at some of our Wisconsin Vision instant replay highlights. Casey Gasson, also the goalkeeper for the Comets, turning in some great work. There's a State Farm Insurance save of the game from Gasson.
Yeah, I'd have to think if you were going to give a 3 stars, you'd probably have Bennett and Renault in there somewhere, and then that guy, Casey Gasson, would probably be the number 3 star.
Let's send it down to Van McNeil.
Incorporated, hardest working player of the game, Mr. Ian Bennett, ladies and gentlemen.
Ooh, Happy New Year, baby.
Oh my goodness.
Woo! That's what I'm talking about, baby. Woo!
Obviously a big win, setting a franchise record with 10 wins in a row. You are playing out of your mind this season. How does it feel?
No, honestly, you got to give it up to Mike and Dan, Giuliano, Cello for setting the standard, man. Creating such a great organization. Man, we made history today, man. 10 in a row, never been done. No disrespect to the guys in the past. It's all great players, but we're really working hard, man, and I guess the record's ours.
Yeah, the record is ours. We surpassed the 08-09 team that had 9 wins in a row. We got now 10 wins in a row, but I know that is not the end of it. That is not the end of our focus, because the big prize at the end of this whole thing, that's what we're going for, right?
No, that's just the beginning, you know? We're just, whatever they put in front of us, we're just trying to knock it down, and we're trying to get better and better every game, every day at training, and they're creating a great atmosphere, man. This team is phenomenal right now. We're just working hard for each other, and we're coming together.
And you're working pretty hard as well. 2 goals and an assist tonight. You continue to play out of your mind. It's great.
Yeah, it's a team, man. It's a team effort. You know, I just try to do my thing. I try to work hard. I try to bring that swag. But, man, the team, I love this team, man.
We love you. We love the Milwaukee Wave, setting a franchise record and your player of the game. Go ahead, Ian.
Hey, thanks to the fans, man. Happy New Year. might sing a little bit, have some fun, drive safe, do your thing, be safe, baby. We're here. We're in the building.
Ian Bennett, ladies and gentlemen, your PCI hardest working player of the game. Join us for our next home game here at UW Milwaukee Panther Arena as the Cedar Rapids Rampage come to town. It's our secret agent night. Tickets still available at MilwaukeeWave.com. For the entire crew here, under the direction of Scott Johnson and Drew Rutherford, Charlie Wise, Mike Jakubowski, and the entire crew, Doreen Michaels as well. My name is Van McNeil. Have a happy new year. Let's go Wave. Final score, Milwaukee Wave 6, Kansas City Comets 4. Good night, everybody.
3, 2, 1.